Let's get you the latest in the investigation into India's biggest criminal conspiracy. Now, CBI has told a Pune court today that one of the accused in the Gauri Lankesh murder case actually handed over a country-made pistol and bullets to Sachin Andure. Remember, he's a man who is now believed to be alleged to be the main shooter in the Dabholkar murder case. Andure allegedly passed this weapon to his brother-in-law. Earlier, remember, CBI had claimed that this weapon might be the one that was used to kill Dabholkar. Now they are saying that the same can be linked to Gauri Lankesh. The question we are asking tonight, is this the clear evidence that indicates that the same set of people and weapons and modus operandi was actually used in both the cases? Santhya is on the phone line. She's been tracking this development very closely, Santhya. Fresh submissions by the CBI today that indicate a clearer link between the plot to kill Gauri Lankesh and Mr. Dabholkar.
Yes, absolutely, Tanvi. And this is on record because when today CBI was seeking an extended custody of Sachin Andure, the alleged shooter of Dr. Narendra Dabholkar, CBI in the court made submissions that how, while examining Sachin Andure, they got to know that one of the accused in Gauri Lankesh, and he's Amol Kale allegedly handed over 7.65 country-made pistol, magazine and 3 bullets to Sachin Andure. And since then, it was in his possession. And after that, when Maharashtra ATS started making those arrests for illegal possession of a huge cache of arms and ammunition, Sharad Kalaskar was also arrested. And Sharad Kalaskar is allegedly the second person who was the accused of killing Dr. Narendra Dabholkar. And Sharad Kalaskar accepted that in the ATS interrogation. Based on that, Sachin Andure was arrested. When Sharad was arrested, Sachin Andure tried to get rid of those weapons by passing it on to his brothers-in-law, and brothers-in-law tried to pass it on to his friend. But the CBI seized that weapon last week, and initially they said that there's a huge possibility that this weapon could have been used to kill Dr. Narendra Dabholkar. And today in Pune Special Court, CBI said that there's also a possibility, because that's that confession made by Sachin Andure himself, that weapon was handed over to him by Amol Kale, who's accused of killing Gauri Lankesh. So now there's also a possibility that this could be the same weapon which was used to kill Gauri Lankesh as well. Of course, CBI and Karnataka SIT and all the investigating agencies will depend on the forensic report of the weapon. But as of now, the line of investigation, Tanvi, is that how connected and whether all these accused were connected to each other and to all these crimes or not.
And Santhya, effectively, what we do know right now is that that weapon that was seized and is now has been sent for forensic testing. That case by itself is actually being handled by the Aurangabad police. But the CBI then, it means, hasn't ruled out that that was the same weapon that has been used in the Dabholkar case and the Gauri Lankesh case. Yes,
CBI never ruled it out, Tanvi. In fact, when Mirror now spoke to CBI last week when the weapon was seized, at that time the CBI said that of course we have to depend on the forensic report, but the fact of the matter is, because it's recovered from the custody of people related to the alleged murder of Dr. Narendra Dabholkar, the possibility is huge that this could be the same weapon. And also, when Dr. Narendra Dabholkar was murdered, at that time the bullets which were found in his body were sent for forensic department, and it was established that it was fired from a 7.65 country-made pistol. So again, CBI has another reason, a very solid ground to believe that this could be the same weapon, because as far as Dr. Narendra Dabholkar's murder case is concerned, the forensic report of those bullet is out. So now one thing which CBI has to establish based on the forensic report, that whether as far as Dr. Narendra Dabholkar's murder is concerned, that bullet which was found from Dr. Dabholkar's body was fired from the same weapon or not.
All right, Santhya, stay on with us as we move to the other breaking development that's coming in. Well, the Maharashtra Anti-Terror Squad, we understand from our sources, has renewed its efforts to recommend a ban on the right-wing group Sanatan Sanstha. They're in the process of compiling a fresh dossier in an attempt to fast-track this pending proposal. The recommendations that were made in 2011 again in 2015, spoken about last year in 2017 as well, remain pending with the centre. But that will not stop the ATS to prepare a fresh dossier based on its recent set of findings and based on the recent set of arrests that have been made to perhaps again seek some action against this organization. Siddhant has that information. Siddhant, we given to understand you've learned from your sources that ATS is aggressively building a fresh dossier on Sanatan Sanstha.
Well, certainly, Tanvi, what we are picking from our sources in ATS clearly says that they are preparing a dossier which will be submitted to Maharashtra government, and later that will be forwarded to central government. So this is the process. Whenever ATS busts some terror module or UAPA sections are imposed on somebody, immediately a notification goes to Home Ministry in Delhi as well as Maharashtra Home Ministry. This is also part of a procedure that after that case is cracked, and then later a dossier is made to inform the government about the activity of particular organization. But then one more thing is very important to read at this point in time, that Maharashtra government is trying to distance themselves from this entire dossier that is being prepared at ATS headquarters in Nagpada, because Maharashtra government has to say that to impose ban on some organization, there are a lot of technical and legal issues which really needs to be considered, and there's a proper committee which sits and which decides whether a ban needs to be imposed and what would be the repercussions. So that committee is completely responsible for any such ban. So at this point in time, Maharashtra ATS is working on a dossier which is required by any agency to do after some terror module gets cracked. At the same time, Maharashtra government, MOS Home, Deepak Kesarkar, who happens to be from Shiv Sena party, is trying to distance himself and the government from this entire dossier, and, giving claims like, it is a legal procedure and there is a committee which decides it. But then I would also like to remind you that in 2011 and 2015, there were two separate reports which were sent to Home Ministry to ban the Sanatan Sanstha. At that time in 2011, Mr. Rakesh Maria was heading the ATS, and in 2015, it was Himanshu Roy who was heading it. Both the individuals in their capacity sent a report to the Home Ministry to consider this particular proposal to ban the Sanatan Sanstha. But despite that, the operations were going on. And it had started in 2013 with Narendra Dabholkar's killing, then Kalburgi, then Pansare, then Gauri Lankesh. So 4 high-profile killings have taken place in last 5 years, but no ban have been imposed so far.
And that's largely the question, Siddhant, that we are asking tonight, that if the anti-terror squad, if the agency that looks into and busts the terror plots non-stop in our country thinks that there is merit to banning one organization, thought so in 2011, thought so in 2015, thought so in 2017, and is now working on a fresh dossier, then why is it that the government of the day doesn't see merit in taking any action in restraining this one organization? What is it that we are waiting for? Siddhant and Santya, thank you for bringing us those multiple aspects as we connect the dots into this India's biggest criminal conspiracy that the nation must know of, and we must discuss it right now about what needs to be done. One link emerges again and again: Sanatan Sanstha. Numerous suspects under the scanner for 4 different murders and multiple terror plots that have been busted before they could be carried out. And the same link emerges again and again. Not only that, this isn't a new name. Sanatan Sanstha has been under the scanner of probe agencies since 2008-9. Like our reporters are pointing out, in 2011, ATS believed this organization must be banned. In 2015, under the leadership of Himanshu Roy, ATS reiterated that stand. Maharashtra government responded to centre's queries on banning this organization, backing this recommendation. In 2017, we had a Maharashtra minister tell us in April that yes, we are looking at this. Till date, nothing has happened. Why is that? And while I introduce you to our guests, also take a look at what's going on your screens. The repeated recommendations that have gone and the various links that have emerged. We'll talk about this in detail in just a bit. Let's say good evening to our guests who are joining us this evening. With me in the studio is Mr. Rizwan Merchant, Yeah, he's a leading advocate in Mumbai. I've also got Uday Sahai, former DCP of Delhi Police, joining us this evening. Vaibhav Agarwal of the BJP. Ramakant Gaur, lawyer from Supreme Court. Pradeep Mathur, a senior journalist. And Ashwini Kulkarni, spokesperson for the Sanatan Sansthan. Let me see if I can go across to Ashwini Kulkarni first. Good evening, madam. Why is it, ऐसा क्यों है कि बार बार सनातन संस्था का नाम आता है, अलग अलग मर्डर केस हो या जो लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया अभी एटीएस रेड्स में, उनके पुराने ताल्लुकात हो, सनातन संस्था का ही नाम बार बार कैसे आ रहा है?
इसका उत्तर तो हमसे ज्यादा इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसीज दे सकती है। सबसे पहली बात यह है कि पिछले 5 सालों से ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है। हमारे जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसीज है वो इतने कम्पिटिटिव है, जो कंपैटिबल है, जो सबसे कितने भी वर्स केसेस है वो उन्होंने सॉल्व किए हैं, फिर भी आज तक वो ये केसेस सॉल्व क्यों नहीं कर पा रही है? और वो कहीं गलत डायरेक्शन में तो नहीं जा रही है। जो रियल मर्डरर्स है उनको छोड़ के सनातन संस्था के पीछे जो लगे हैं, उससे अच्छा है कि जो सच्चे खूनी है, जो रियल मर्डरर्स है, तो उनके सामने इसके विषय में सनातन संस्था ने बार बार ये पत्र भी दिए हैं कि ये लिंक्स हो सकते हैं। सनातन संस्था ने बार बार अलर्ट किया है कि आप हमारे जो सीकर्स के इन्वेस्टिगेशंस कर रहे हो, वहाँ पे सीकर्स ने फुल्ली कोऑपरेट किया है, सनातन संस्था ने कोऑपरेट किया है। कभी भी किसी भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी से आप पूछो तो हमने किसी भी तरह का उनसे कोई गैर व्यवहार किया है, नहीं किया है। हमने हमेशा किसी भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन है तो कोऑपरेट ही किया है।
नहीं, वो तो अच्छी बात है और करना भी चाहिए आपको। मतलब कोऑपरेट नहीं करेंगे तो आप प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, वो तो करना ही पड़ेगा। नहीं, मेरा सवाल आपसे ये नहीं था। मेरा सवाल ये था कि आपको क्या चिंता नहीं होती कि इतने लोगों, वैभव राव जी जो महाराष्ट्र टेरर प्लॉट के केस में अभी अरेस्ट किए गए हैं, उनका सनातन संस्था से लिंक है। श्रीकांत पंगारकर जी जो भी महाराष्ट्र टेरर प्लॉट और दाभोलकर केस में जिनका इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रहा है, उनके भी अलेजेड लिंक्स हैं आपके साथ। शरद कलस्कर जी, सुधान्वा गोंडलेकर जी, उनका भी सपोर्ट है एक ऐसी संस्था को जो सनातन संस्था से लिंक्ड है। इनफैक्ट आप ही के ग्रुप के एक दूसरे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं जो 2 दिन पहले मेरी डिबेट पे जुड़े थे, और मैंने उनसे जब नाम पूछे तो उन्होंने 5 या 6 नामों के लिए बोला हाँ ये हमारी संस्था से जुड़े थे। तो मेरा ये सवाल है कि क्या आपको चिंता नहीं होती कि ऐसे लोग जो अब पुलिस की अरेस्ट में है या सीबीआई या एंटी टेरर स्क्वाड के अरेस्ट में है, वो आपकी संस्था से जुड़े हुए थे?
सबसे पहली बात यह है कि जब से ये सब इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहे हैं, हमने क्लियर किया है, सनातन संस्था ने बार बार ये कहा है कि जो भी नाम आप ले रहे हो, जो कि वैभव राव अभी बोला था या गोंदलेकर बोला था, वो संस्था से जुड़े नहीं है, उनके संगठन अलग है, सनातन संस्था से उनका कोई भी लिंक नहीं है। दूसरी बात यह है कि अभी इस सप्ताह में एटीएस ने एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस भी ली थी, उसमें उन्होंने क्लियर कर दिया है कि इसमें सनातन संस्था का नाम या लिंक कहीं पे भी नहीं आई है। और यदि संस्था का कोई लिंक नहीं है और संस्था किसी भी तरह से इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, ये इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसी बोल रही है।
ये एटीएस ही बोल चुकी है 3 बार कि आपकी संस्था को बैन कर देना चाहिए।
नहीं, हमारा नाम ही नहीं है, हम उससे रिलेटेड ही नहीं है, फिर बैन क्यों करना चाहिए ये आप बताइए हमें।
ठीक है, मैं ये सवाल नहीं, सही पॉइंट है आपका।
किस चीज का, ये भी आंसर हमें कभी तो मिलना चाहिए।
सही बात है। मैं आप बस ये जानना चाहती थी कि आपकी क्या सोच है, आपकी क्या राय है इस बारे में कि बार बार आप ही की संस्था का नाम क्यों आता है अलग अलग एजेंसी से। पर आपने जो सवाल उठाया, द क्वेश्चन दैट यू हैव रेज्ड इज वैलिड। लेट मी पुट दैट क्वेश्चन टू आवर एक्सपर्ट्स। अश्विनी जी, मैं वापस आपके पास आऊंगी।
हम इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, सुनिए मेरी बात सुनिए। इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसी जो एटीएस है, जिनका नाम लेकर आप इतने सारे दावे करते हो, वो बता रही है कि सनातन संस्था किसी भी तरह लिंक नहीं है।
नहीं,
फिर हमारा नाम क्यों लिया जाता है? नहीं, तो कहाँ पे गलती हो रही है?
नहीं, आप गलत चीज बोल रही हैं। नहीं, एटीएस ने अभी ऑन रिकॉर्ड जो बोला है वो पहले सिर्फ इन 5 अरेस्ट के लिए बोला है कि इन 5 अरेस्ट में सनातन संस्था का अभी हमने लिंक डायरेक्ट नहीं पाया है, इनका लिंक हो सकता है इन लोगों का। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि एटीएस ने पहले जो पाया वो झूठ है या वो गलत है। तो ये दोनों चीज़ों को मिक्स करके हमारे व्यूअर्स को मिसलीड मत करिए। लेकिन जो आपका सवाल है वो मैं अपने दूसरे गेस्ट के पास ले जाना चाहूँगी। एंड लेट मी टेक इट to our police expert for, and I'm going to ask Mr. Uday Sahai. Mr. Uday Sahai, is it possible that the anti-terror squad gets it wrong multiple times over 5 years? Is it possible that the Karnataka police, that the Maharashtra police, the special investigative team and the CBI, that they are all looking at an organization that has not done anything wrong? How can everybody get it wrong?
Well, there are 3 points. Point 1. When you get an endorsement from the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is the overarching ministry handling the police affairs in the country, internal security, naturally you are talking about a case which has got interstate ramification. The argument is that yes, it has happened mostly in Maharashtra but also in Karnataka. Reportedly, there is a suspicion that even with the Gauri Lankesh case, there could be a linkage. Based on these 2 states' involvement of cases with these accused characters, if a case is being built up, it is based on, kind of speculation. And therefore, until you have a preponderance of probability that yes, even if it is speculative, it all leads to that only, the center invariably doesn't take a firm view in cases like this. And therefore, it is true that this is the first time ATS has sent it, but there is a catch. If ATS sends a report, ATS can't send a report on its own directly to the MHA. Naturally, it is routed through the Home Department of the state concerned. But in earlier 2 cases, plus the last case that we are discussing today, you will find that the Home Minister has been, Home Department of Maharashtra has not given a categorical clause that yes, we fully agree with what ATS is saying. Forwarding a report is one, and also concurring with the recommendation is another. And therefore, it is a little early to jump to a conclusion that yes, there is a linkage and we should expedite that.
You're saying that it's too early to jump to a conclusion that in 2011 the ATS under the leadership of Rakesh Maria had recommended a ban, that in 2013 the then government took a view, in 2015 the same was reiterated under the leadership of another top cop, much respected. Then why do you believe, sir, I'm not able to understand that it's too early to conclude anything?
For example, the arrest which has taken place on Saturday.
Yeah.
The what has been reported. Of course, I have not seen the case diaries and stuff.
No, fair enough. I am also not talking about the last 5 arrests. I agree with you. Fair enough. In the last 5 arrests that have been taken, that have taken place, anti-terror squad, it's too soon. It's too soon. I agree.
The person is not. In the last case also, the news media reports that he was not cooperating with the investigative agency.
Yes.
That's one. There could be 10 reasons for not cooperating with the investigating agency. But to say that just because somebody is not cooperating, he is an accused, and conclusively that he should be fixed. That's my ground.
Okay. Point taken. Mr. Merchant, how do you see this entire development? And we've been talking about the case at multiple points since 2011 at least.
Whatever the madam was just referring to, that why is it that they are being targeted, is not something which is being deliberately done by ATS. When ATS embarks upon investigation, it is involved in a particular exercise which is sanctioned by the Code of Criminal Procedure. They follow a particular procedure to collect evidence. Now, when you collect that particular evidence, legally admissible evidence is required to be made a basis by the ATS for putting up their case before the court. The court is dealing with the case on the strength of the evidence which is formed out in the remand applications by the ATS. The court has been appreciating the case from time to time. At no point of time has the court ever come to a conclusion or raised a question that the case which is being sought to be put up by ATS is a dishonest case or an unfair case, or there is something lacking in the case. Yeah. The evidence is legally admissible evidence on the strength of which investigation is going to be completed. After completion of investigation, a charge sheet will be filed. On the strength of the charge sheet, the court will take a cognizance and subject the accused persons to trial. Now, all these issues which are being raised on the program today, they have to be reserved for the purposes of facing the trial. At this point of time, you have to go on the basis of the prima facie material which has been collected by investigation agency to make up the charges, and which is abundantly clear that the material available with them showed the involvement of the Sanatan Sanstha in respect of the seizure of certain items a couple of weeks back. The weapons which were recovered at that point of time have been sent for forensic examination, and right now it appears that prima facie there is material to suggest that those weapons were used in the commission of these offences. Therefore, the existence of a prima facie case is justified in law for the ATS to make a statement, for the CBI to make a statement, or any investigating agency to make a statement that we are going to investigate the possible involvement of this accused in the commission of this offence because of the existence of this prima facie offence.
Okay.
If prima facie material is available, you cannot question the utility of the prima facie material for the purpose of investigation. Supreme Court has also gone to the extent of saying investigation is the prerogative of the investigating agency. You cannot question it at this stage. You have to wait for the right stage to come. The right stage is only after the filing of the charge sheet.
So, the next point then is, Ramakant Gaur, good evening to you as well. The next question that comes to my mind is that if there have been repeated times when the organization has come under the scanner, and if there have been recommendations made by the ATS and the state government with no action being taken by the center in the past 5, 6, 7 years, is it right to then ask the question, had we taken action 5 years ago, perhaps some of these people would have been already caught, stopped, and some preemptive action, we wouldn't be having this conversation today at least?
Tanvi, I'll just barge in for a moment.
Sure.
See, as far as UAPA Act is concerned,
Mr. Gaur, just 1 minute, I'm coming to you.
I'm sorry,
yes.
I'm just barging in. As far as the UAPA Act is concerned, not only an unlawful activity is required to be dealt with under the Act. Under Chapter 4, there is a requirement of dealing with a terrorist act. The terrorist act which is defined in UAPA is at par with the TADA Act, which is now being repealed, which categorically says that if a person does any act with the intent to threaten or likely to threaten the unity, integrity, security and economic security or the sovereignty of the country, he is committing a terrorist act. Now, number one, the possession of weapons a couple of weeks back when they were seized from Nala Sopara, you don't require these weapons to be with a particular sanstha. The board that was displayed on the premises categorically showed that that particular place was either the office premises or was in occupation, possession and control of the Sanatan Sanstha. So, in law, if you are found in possession of that particular premises where there is discovery or recovery of an explosive substance, you become accountable in law to explain that particular possession, because law provides that I will draw a presumption that you had knowledge about the presence of the stuff in the premises. You want to dispel that, you want to rebut that, you go to the court and you rebut that. Secondly, in the section 15, which deals with the terrorist act, there are multiple clauses which deal with other issues also, which also include the 4 eliminations of Dabholkar and the subsequent deaths. So, if this becomes a terrorist act as defined under section 15 of UAPA, the representation to the central government to ban the organization is not only supposed to be limited to an unlawful act, but it should also include a terrorist act.
Yes.
Now, if I'm not wrong, there have been reports to suggest that this particular organization, through one of their mouthpiece, which is known as Sanatan Prabhat,
yes,
it's a newspaper, have been reaching out to people. They have claimed in that particular mouthpiece of their organization that they have created a force to fight the police personnel,
yes,
to fight the army. Now, if you plan to fight the police and fight the army, that means you are challenging the integrity and the sovereignty of the state. You are preparing to wage war. And if you are preparing to wage war, This organization and existence of this organization is an absolute threat to the economic security and the secular fabric of the country.
And you know, normally, Mr. Merchant, what would happen is that you wouldn't take, you know, any small mouthpiece newsletter or, you know, or magazine so seriously. But the fact of the matter in this case is that they have carried out few raids at the residences and other properties of people, and we are given to understand that the probe agencies have found pistols, bullets, crude bombs, material to make crude bombs, written material to tell you how to make those bombs, and a larger conspiracy for terror around the time where India is preparing to have a series of festivals, which is why this needs to be taken seriously. But Mr. Gaur, the question is, had we taken action few years ago based on whatever had been submitted, conviction or not? Ashwini ji, I see your hand, I'll come to you in just a bit. Had we acted against Sanatana some time ago,
we would have...
Yes.
Tanvi, that's the question. What are we waiting for? Are we waiting for some more terror attacks?
That's
Are
right.
we waiting for creation of some more terrorist acts being committed by these persons? Mr. Merchant has beautifully explained what is terrorist act under section 15 of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So I'll not go into that. But please look into the history. In the history, they have created a smoke screen. What they have been preaching is, we want to establish Dharmanishta Hindu Rashtra. And the second punchline is, violence against the evil is no violence. So that's the genesis where they are dealing with. They are coming up. They are coming from the platform that violence against the evil. And who is evil? Anybody who is opposing the Hindu Rashtra. Now, please look into the chain of events. From 90 to 99, they were preparing for all this. From 2009, please look into it. There was a blast. In 2011, 3 people are convicted for the blast committed by the members of this sanstha. 2012, 13, 15, 16, 17, every single year we have seen a number of cases related to this sanstha. So, if we are talking about banning this Sanatan Sanstha, we should have done this much earlier. If we have not done this, we have committed a grave mistake.
But so the counterpoint...
Now there is a statement of Prithviraj Chauhan.
Yes.
Yes.
No, the counterpoint is, which is what the Ashwini Kulkarni ji was just telling us, and many others say that there are no convictions. Where have you proven our guilt as an organization in any of these cases?
No, there are convictions. There are convictions. We need to look at the records, Tanvi. 2011, Ramesh Hasmukhmat Gadkari and Vikram Vinay Bhave, they were sentenced to 10 years, and in 2013 their bail was granted by the appellate court, but their conviction is not disturbed. Now, if we look at the arrests, in case of, we are seeing that Mr. Narendra Dabholkar, assassinated accused are being nabbed now, who have some connect in Gauri Lankesh's case. Now, in 2015, Govind Pansare and MM Kalburgi's murder, the hands are very clear. We cannot say something about the integrity of our police system who have put their lives on danger, and they are dealing with it.
Okay.
We are talking about the system. There is a system in this country.
Yes.
And then,
it's not just the police system.
One more minute, Tanvi.
Yes.
It's judiciary involved into it.
Everybody. It's the CBI, it's the anti-terror squad. Yeah.
And various officers who have brilliant career track record.
Yes.
And there is a provision for banning such sanstha's.
Okay,
See,
so I will come back to that point, Mr. Gaur, in just a bit, because I'm sure that what you and Mr. Merchant have put forward here, Vaibhav Agarwal has something to say to that, because the question at the end of the day, Mr. Agarwal, is that the recommendation is with the Home Ministry, but for some reason there have been more clarifications sought, but no action taken. So the only question we are asking is, when will there be action taken?
Excellent question, Tanvi. And with Mr. Merchant, he and I usually disagree with certain points, but on 13th August also he was present, and we disagreed to some points, but fairly described and fairly explained in terms of law and the legal system, and so did Mr. Gaur, and so did our friend Mr. Sahai. And but I also see, as a public representative, I also see merit in what Ms. Kulkarni is talking about, representing the Sanstha. I also see merit in terms of the Ministry of Home Affairs going back to the State Home Affairs Department, asking a list of queries, when the dossier. I have no information to it, but since my learned friends on the panel are saying, given the circumstances, I'm sure they would have perhaps some kind of a forward that would have come to the MHA. But what I know of, that if that forward would have come to the MHA, there are a set of queries that may have been asked back to the State Home Department.
That was done in 2015 and 17.
It is, you and I can't. I am talking about the day. I am talking about the dispensation in the day. I cannot go
in 2015
back
and 2017. I mean, even I am not.
In 2013. Okay. So 2015, 2017. Perhaps there have been developments because these arrests have only recently taken place. These discoveries of weapons have only recently taken place. So there is a process of law, and you and I can't afford to jump that procedure.
No, you've taken 3 years in an effort to not jump the procedure. You've taken 3 years to take a decision on a recommendation. 3 years. And meanwhile, we are finding more people linked to the same organization being arrested. That's the problem.
There is only one issue. There is only one issue.
Exactly.
Now, if you see the UAPA.
Mr. Merchant, let me complete my point.
Yes, sure,
let me complete my point. Let me complete my point. This is so I'll tell you, having said that, Tanvi, you're absolutely right, but we've taken 3 years. My God, it's such a long time. People's lives are at risk. Absolutely, people's lives are at risk. But I trust my security agencies completely, and because we are alert, we know what we're doing. We're catching them by their horns. We're catching the entire Asla by the book. We're catching everything, so my citizens are safe. You and I are safe.
Investigative agencies may be doing their job. When will the government do its job?
An action. Now the question is, the investigative agencies, my dear, responds to the government only. They report back to us. They report back to the government.
But they do their investigation independently, I'm hoping.
Or the public representatives. But having said that, they absolutely do it independently. And the investigation, please do not forget, it's happening under our watch. It's happening under our government.
But independently.
We are catching, it's one of the largest howls, as you've already said.
Okay.
But independently, absolutely. It's a watch. It's a system that is happening. You cannot come back and say there is political interference. No, there isn't. If there was, then it could have been a little different than what we're discussing.
No, I'm saying that when things go wrong.
So having said that,
getting back to the point.
Let me respectfully disagree. Let me respectfully disagree with your suggestion that your ministry is calling for material for clarification. Your ministry is not conducting a trial. They are not a court of law. All that they require is the existence of a prima facie material to suggest the commission of an unlawful activity.
So it's a tactic it could be a tactic to buy more time without taking a decision.
This is nothing but a delay tactic, and in fact the schedule shows, you see, for example, SIMI, Students Islamic Movement of India, that was banned entirely on the existence of a prima facie case, which was suggested by the investigating agency to be in existence on the basis of statements recorded. There was no back and forth exercise to decide whether SIMI should be banned or not. Only on the existence of a prima facie case, SIMI was banned. No, that was also a particular Islamic movement. If you ban one movement, you ban the other.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Weber, 30 seconds to you. I really need to go across to Mr. Pradeep Mathur also. He's been patiently waiting. So yes.
1 second. So just 10 seconds. The idea is very simple. Just because someone dislikes a particular movement, we're not going to go ahead and ban it. For example, the ATS
Who dislikes this movement? The ATS?
No, it's not a question of disliking. There's evidence to suggest you're doing something which the constitution mandate prohibits.
1 minute, Mr. Merchant. You brought politics in between. Now let me bring politics in between.
Inside.
I was right at the line.
I've not touched the word politics at all.
When you do Hindu-Muslim, you are doing Hindu-Muslim.
No,
I'm not doing Hindu-Muslim, I'm sorry. I'm not doing Hindu-Muslim. You are suggesting that.
He's talking about organizations that are linked to terrorists.
I'm talking about an organization
whose links to terrorists have emerged. Kindly not make it communal in any
not
way.
making it communal.
I am going to just point it out to our viewers. No, Vaibhav Agarwal, listen to me. Vaibhav Agarwal, why are we talking about this specific organization right
No, when
now?
the Sanstha is creating a particular team to fight the army, to fight the police, you are recruiting people to engage into terrorist activities.
What's the rush?
Section 18
What's
prohibits
the
it.
rush? What's the rush? Because one of these people whose murder is under investigation was killed 5 years ago because the first recommendation to ban this organization was done in 2011. There is no rush except for the fact that it has been 7 years. Vaibhav Agarwal, 1 minute. I will answer your question. I will answer your question. Allow me to answer your question. What is the rush? The rush is this, Vaibhav Agarwal. The first recommendation to ban Sanatan Sanstha was made in 2011 by the Anti-Terror Squad. It is 2018. We are still arresting people who are still linked to this organization. We are still busting terror plots.
The High Court threw that petition out of the court because there was no
What
evidence.
petition are you talking about? I'm talking about Anti-Terror Squad's recommendation that went to the Home Ministry via the state government of Maharashtra.
Recommendation carries no value until and unless the committee decides it. If we
The
are talking
Maharashtra
legal,
government has
let's talk
repeatedly
legal.
made this recommendation, responded to queries by the centre. We are looking at a scenario where Vaibhav Roth, who, by the way, Sanatan Sanstha spokesperson confirmed to me, he was at one point of time linked to Sanatan Sanstha.
Because Simi is on record.
Can I repeat on record what Sanatan Sanstha spokesperson has told me on my show? Vaibhav Roth was linked to the Sanatan Sanstha. Sudanva Gondalekar was linked to a group which is an offshoot of Sanatan Sanstha. Virendra Tavade was part of a group which is linked to the Sanatan Sanstha. Amol Kale was linked to the Sanatan Sanstha. Sameer Gaikwad was linked to the Sanatan Sanstha. All of them are under investigation, are under arrest for various murders today in this country.
I am linked to BJP, but just because I commit a fraud,
you are outside,
party or anyone else
not under arrest. I am talking about people who are under arrest for terror plots and for murder plots. That's the differentiation. I'm going to go across
Will you let me?
to Mr. Mathur. My apologies to Mr. Mathur. My sincere apologies, Pradeep Mathur, for making you wait. Your view on why it is that we haven't seen, is there merit to the argument, Mr. Mathur, that because there has not been a court conviction, there shouldn't be any action?
In fact, I have been listening to the whole debate very patiently. Now, it is something very clear that there is a case because this organization has been preaching all sorts of violence and all those things in there. And the persons who have been accused, they have got some of the other link with. Say, take the case of Hindu Jan Jagrati Sangh. This is an offshoot of Sanatan Sabha and all that. So, Sanatan Sabha cannot be absorbed all this thing now. One thing is that they have been preaching hatred, they have been advocating violence, and all these things are there. So, now we cannot take such a technical position. Now, Sanstha has been in the forefront of creating hatred among communities and all that. There is more than good evidence that all those accused, they have got some or the other thing to do with this Sanstha. So I think banning Sanstha is the right thing. This is what the government should have done. My only concern is that it is not turned into a sort of a political issue.
Yes.
That is something very important. Terror is terror. Terror has no language, no creed, nothing of that sort. So terror has to be dealt with as a terror thing, and it has nothing to do with any political situation or any preference we have got or any sort of communal consideration and all that. So I have a feeling that ATS should be given full opportunity and all that, and I think they have already done a very good job. They have done this, and now a recommendation is with the government, and the central government must not put any political consideration in mind. And if the state government has been wanting it, and if the ATS has been wanting it, then there's, I think, more than enough reason that this organization should be banned.
Okay, so let me go across to Ms. Ashwini again. She wanted to respond to few of the points. Ms. Ashwini, आपने सुना बाकी लोग क्या कह रहे थे? जी बोलिए, क्या कहना चाहती हैं आप?
सबसे पहली बात ये है कि आप बता रहे हैं कि दाभोलकर का ये हुआ वो हुआ। हम सबसे पहले ये आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं कि हमारे सीकर्स का अरेस्ट इसी बात पे किया था, इसी बेस पे किया था कि एटीएस के पास, सीबीआई के पास या इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसी जो है उनके पास पुख्ता एविडेंसेस है, इसलिए उनका अरेस्ट किया था। और अब हम आपसे पूछते हैं कि उनके ट्रायल्स क्यों चलाए नहीं जा रहे हैं? दाभोलकर फैमिली ने उनके खिलाफ उच्च न्यायालय में क्यों अपील की है? ये ट्रायल्स पे स्टे क्यों लाया है, ये बात क्यों नहीं बताते आप? यदि दाभोलकर को चाहिए कि मिस्टर दाभोलकर के जो मर्डरर्स है वो मिले या उनको जो भी सजा मिलनी है मिले, तो फिर ये ट्रायल चलाने क्यों नहीं देते? ये सबसे पहली बात है। यदि ह्यूमन राइट्स की बात है, सभी सिटीजन्स के सेफ्टी की बात है, तो हम आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं, यदि आपके पास कोई एविडेंसेस नहीं थे तो हमारे सीकर्स को इतने साल से जेल में बंद करके क्यों रखा है? दूसरी बात यह है कि यदि सबकी लाइफ है तो हमारे सीकर्स की कोई लाइफ नहीं है। और अभी आप जो फिर से बोल रही है कि वैभव राउत या गोंदलेकर जो है तो सनातन संस्था से जुड़े हैं, हम फिर से क्लियर करते हैं कि वो सनातन संस्था से जुड़े नहीं है, उनके स्वयं के जो संगठन है तो
मैं
वो
ये
उनसे
अपने आप
जुड़े
से
हैं।
नहीं
सनातन
बोल रही हूँ,
संस्था किसी भी तरह उनसे लिंक नहीं है।
मैं ये अपने
तो
आप
ये
से
बातें
नहीं
क्यों
बोल
है?
रही हूँ।
और
अश्विनी
यदि
जी, आज आप ये
यदि
मुझे कह रही हैं, आप ही की
यदि
संस्था
आप-
का एक
यदि आप पूरी बात
पर्सन
सुन लीजिए,
नहीं,
पूरी
आप
बात
मेरी
सुन
बात
लीजिए।
सुनिए।
यदि
थर्सडे
इसके
को
पास
मेरे
इन्वेस्टिगेटिव
शो में
एजेंसी के पास-
आप ही की संस्था
यदि
के एक आए थे
इन्वेस्टिगेटिव
स्पोक्स पर्सन,
एजेंसीज के
मैंने
पास
ये सारे नाम उनके सामने लिए, हर एक नाम पे हाँ या ना उनसे पूछा।
में पेश क्यों नहीं हुए
आप
हैं?
मेरी बात सुनिए,
आज इतने
आप
सालों
मेरी
के
बात
बाद-
सुनिए।
आज इतने
पहली बात,
सालों के बाद आप बता रहे हो कि ये एविडेंसेस मिले हैं, ये लिंक्स मिले हैं, ये मिले हैं, हमें पक्के सबूत मिले हैं, तो इतने वर्षों तक आपके पास क्या था? तो वो एविडेंसेस कहाँ थे?
कहाँ थे?
क्यों पेश नहीं किए गए?
Okay.
तो हमारे सीकर्स की जो लाइफ है वो डिस्ट्रॉय हुई
ठीक है।
है।
अब आप
उनके
पॉइंट, ठीक
जो
है,
families
आपका
के destroy हुई है,
आपका पॉइंट
उसका
लिया,
जवाब
उसका
कौन
जवाब
देगा?
उसका जवाब अभी हम
गवर्नमेंट
अपने
से
एक्सपर्ट से
पूछेंगे
लेंगे।
आप? जब
अश्विनी,
ये सब clarify
अश्विनी
हो
जी,
जाएगा, पूछेंगे आप।
अश्विनी जी, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ
जी, पहली बात, जो मैंने अभी नाम लिए उनका कॉन्फर्मेशन की वो किसी ना किसी टाइम पे सनातन संस्था या हिंदू जागरण समिति से या आपके किसी और ऑफशूट से जुड़े थे, या आप ही के सनातन संस्था के स्पोक्स पर्सन ने मुझे ऑन टीवी कंफर्म किया है, इसीलिए मैं उनका नाम ले रही हूँ। अपनी मर्जी से या सीबीआई या एटीएस या किसी और के बोलने से ये नाम नहीं ले रही हूँ। तो ये आप वापस जाके अपनी संस्था के लोगों से पूछिए। आपका दूसरा सवाल वैलिड है।
आपने अभी मुझे ये बताया था
आपका दूसरा सवाल वैलिड है,
था वो आज बदल सकता है। सनातन संस्था के किस स्पोक पर्सन की बात कर रही है आप, मुझे पता नहीं है, लेकिन आज एज अ स्पोक्स पर्सन मैं आपको बता रही हूँ।
चलिए ठीक है, अब आप कह रहे हैं कि ये कोई आपसे जुड़े नहीं,
तो मैं
ठीक है।
बता रही हूँ, तो उस पे आपको क्यों भरोसा नहीं है?
क्योंकि अगर आप ही के संस्था के लोग रोज अपना स्टैंड बदलेंगे तो फिर कैसे भरोसा होगा किसी पे? बट हियर इज द अदर पॉइंट एंड इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग. Vaibhav Agarwal, the question that Ashwini Kulkarni is raising is also to be looked at. The fact of the matter is that Narendra Dabholkar was killed in 2013. The CBI came in a few months later to look into this case. The CBI has repeatedly been pulled up in the investigation in this case by the court for not doing enough in this investigation. The family has pointed that out. According to the CBI, there were two other people who had been named by the CBI as the key shooters. Today we are being told that this Sachin Andure and Sharat Kasalkar are the shooters and have confessed to that. What's happening? Has the CBI gone back on its investigation? Shouldn't that also be a concern?
Let me reiterate this, Tanvi, and I've said this many times, and let me reiterate this, that for the first time we've been too used to governments at the forefront, the ruling dispensations interfering in the investigations and getting work done by calling people and using what we call commonly as jack. But this is the first time that there is no political interference in the agencies are functioning independently. So unfortunately, I will have to say that I have no say and no information on what CBI is undertaking in terms of the procedure, because I have no interference, I have no friends there, I have no entry there, and nobody from the political team, at least from my arena, from my team, has such
well, I am concerned, and I will take that point to Ramakant Gaur.
CBI,
okay,
ATS,
point
and so on
taken.
and so forth.
You are saying there is no influence, so hence whatever CBI is doing independently, but the concern is this, Ramakant Gaur. Are we looking at a situation where, because 5 years have gone by now, the entire scenario and the narrative of the Dabholkar case seems to have changed, that we are looking at a case which will be very difficult to prove then in the court? Because the CBI say there were two other people along with Virendra Taude who had shot Dabholkar earlier. They weren't able to prove anything for 5 years. Now two more names has come forward. So Sanatan Sanstha, when they make that argument, there seems to be merit in that argument. Then what are the agencies doing? Mr. Gaur?
Agencies have limitations, and agencies At times, agencies find subsequent evidence in a case where investigation is either closed or a trial is on, and at a subsequent stage or at the time of investigation of some other case, the agency may come to know about additional evidence, and an additional charge sheet can be filed in the court of law. So there is no bar of filing additional charge sheet in the court of law if some supplementary charge sheets, the provision is there. But here the question is little different. Here it is a series of cases. Sanatan Sanstha is accused of creating bomb blast. There is a recovery of drugs on the premises of Sanatan Sanstha. This is not disputed. There is they are accused of committing certain murders, and it is an admittance on their mouthpiece that violence against anybody, against the evil who is opposing Hinduism, is no violence. That means they are saying something like that violating the law for somebody or taking the law into their own hands is not breaking of law. So this is unconstitutional. This is illegal.
No, I don't agree with you. I'll tell you why, Ramakant. You very simply said what you're referring to is a report published in one of their mouthpiece publications, which is what you're referring to exactly, is that we want to make a Hindu Rashtra and all that stuff. You know, this country is a free country. Let's come out of the Congress mindset in terms of understanding what is a jack. You know, no, the jack doesn't work in this government anymore.
No, it's not about the government.
Is a free country, and there is so much freedom.
But like Ashwini Kulkarni ji says, their believers will read that mouthpiece and will believe that idea.
What they want, as long as they are not harming my citizens.
They will believe that mouthpiece and they will believe that idea because they are believers of Sanatan Sanstha.
Recovery of drugs and weapon cannot be permitted in the name of Hindu Rashtra. That's inadmissible.
No, but how can you say it's in the name of Hindu Rashtra? No, exactly what I'm saying. And that's the subject matter of investigation. Until you're coming on national television and saying that you're privy to the investigation as a private citizen, which is again illegal.
Fair enough.
So how do you even know? And this investigation is a classified investigation. How does anyone know what is the investigation? Even I don't know. I'm part of the government.
Unfortunately, for 5-6 years now, this investigation has gone on. From various claims and counterclaims have been made, but no specific action has been taken, and that I think is a real tragedy in our country. That people, rationalists, journalists have been silenced over the period of last 5 years. Until date, we are still awaiting for justice in all of those cases. Simultaneously, what we are seeing, viewers, is that now there are raids being conducted by the anti-terror squad where guns and crude bombs and plans for various attacks on small little rallies to create confusion are being recovered. And here we sit and discuss how the procedure should be and how long should it take for the government to step in and to stop anybody who seems like a threat to this country and to the sovereignty of this country. This is not about religion. This is not about any religious organization. This is not about ideology. This is about a terror plot. This is about multiple terror plots. This is about 4 specific murders. This is about a massive criminal conspiracy that is being investigated. Again, I will reiterate, by multiple probe agencies and police teams across states. So I fail to understand how it could be fake or false to just get one organization, to just target one organization. There has to be more merit than that into what our investigative agencies are doing. Fair enough. The point is that for the past 6-7 years, nobody has been able to indict, to prove the guilt of an organization like Sanatan Sanstha. But the fact of the matter is that many of those directly or indirectly linked with this organization at some point in the past decade are now behind bars and under investigation. So should the government not look into this matter and at least order a separate investigation into what exactly is it that this organization is doing and teaching to its people and members? That's the only question we are asking. We hope that based on what has been found now, justice is done and people who are planning terror attacks against this country are brought to book. And we hope it's done in a speedy manner, keeping religion and politics aside. Thank you so much for joining us on this debate.